feeling? How you living? What's good? It's your girl Francine. Today is Friday. It is no longer Fact Friday. Friday is now officially, girl, I'm finna take your black card day. Okay? I'll explain tomorrow why all the changes going on with this channel and when I'm moving to my Instagram. I don't want to ramble on too long. If you're new here, Girl, I'm finna take your black card is a segment in which I, a black woman, talk about movies that I have not seen or may have seen in the past and forget, like this movie. And I talk about it, give my analysis. I've also did music, and I plan on doing some TV shows in the future, so look forward to that as well. And so today we are talking about a movie that was a suggestion from one of my great subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, as well as suggesting a movie for this channel. I always say at the end of my videos, if you have any suggestions for me, put them in the comment section. I will do them, okay? I will. And she suggested Soul Food, which is a movie that came out in 1997 that I apparently have seen already, and I don't remember. I was talking with my mom earlier today and was like, yeah, somebody asked me to do Soul Food. I don't remember watching that movie. And she was like, yeah, I was like, really? And I just thought she was lying, but she just told me the whole synopsis of the movie, and I was like, dang. Wow, college really messed my brain up, huh? That was a lot of alcohol. And apparently I don't remember. But I apparently have seen this movie, but this is the first rush reaction from this brain. So let's get into my reaction to Soul Food. So this time I made some notes. I made some very articulate notes because I usually get my timelines confused when I do these movie reviews. So I'm trying to make sure that I do this profession now. So the movie starts off in a wedding for Nia Long's character, whose name is Bird. I don't really remember what her actual name is. I really don't think that's her real name. But she's getting married to Mekhi Phifer, who I'm going to just call Mekhi Phifer because I feel like I'm going to forget his name. And that whole setup was just, she had old light-skinned dude who she used to date. I don't remember what his name is either, and I wrote it down. I was like made sure to write things down, and I forgot to write down his name. So I'm going to put it here. He came in, Samuel, found a name. Samuel came in to her wedding as her ex, like, okay, and got her all flustered, and apparently Mekhi Phifer is sitting there having his ex-girlfriend twerking on him at his wedding, and I'm like, where the heck do they do that at? But everything got resolved because Big Mama came in, and Big Mama, she's the best. Everybody loves Big Mama. Nobody hates Big Mama. She's such a great person. Then we cut to Sunday dinner at Big Mama's house. You know, everything's going well. You know, they got the whole family there, and a reverend's there who was a perv, which, and you know, the food's good, and you know, we find out Big Mama got diabetes, and then I was like, yeah, Big Mama's gonna die. I can feel it. I can feel it. I already know. We got Uncle Pete, who apparently has Alzheimer's, and he's in his room upstairs. Nobody ever sees him, you know, whatever. One thing you realize very early on in this movie is that the three daughters of Big Mama, they don't have a great relationship, which, you know, sometimes family dynamics come up as you get older. You got resentments, you got issues that you carrying. Family therapy needs to be done, okay? Understood. One thing we realize, Vanessa Williams' character, whose name is Terry, she is a lawyer who's always talking about money and is super like pretentious and bougie. And then I was like, yo, I feel offended because why am I feeling attacked? Why? But that's okay. We got Vivica Fox's character, whose name is Maxine. She is, you know, the mom. She got she had 2 kids and had a kid who was pregnant with a baby in the beginning, and she's dating her husband. She has her husband who we find out apparently used to date Vanessa Williams back in the day, and then she stole her man and married him and had 2.5 kids with him. So I was like, ooh, I get that resentment. I get it. And then we have, like I said, Nia Long, who's Bird. She's marrying Mekhi Phifer, who apparently has a criminal record. He used to sell some stuff back in the day, got arrested. So, you know, we get the dynamics of everybody. You know, the main narrator of the movie is Maxine's son, and I don't remember his name. That's the one name I didn't write down. Dang, that sucks. I'll put it here. He's the narrator. He's talking about how, you know, the family is going through it. So what happens in this family dinner is that Cousin Faith, Cousin Faith, shows up. Who apparently she used to be a stripper back in the day. She was kind of a con person. Like, she ain't really trustworthy. They don't really mess with her like that. And we start having some dynamics come up with her. But then all of a sudden, Vivica Fox's character has her baby, right? She goes into labor. And during that time she's in labor, Big Mama starts, you know, looking kind of sick. You know what I'm saying? And she ends up finding out that she needs to get her leg cut off. Which... yikes, like, okay, that's a big deal. So, you know, we see that whole dynamic of everybody being really scared for her and being really worried about her. And so next thing we know, we hear about Mekhi Phifer's character he comes to Vivica Fox, Maxine, I'm gonna call them other character names, Maxine, and her husband's house, and talks to her husband about how he got fired from his job because he lied about having a felony conviction, and they don't really play real well with that. And it's very unfortunate to know that our you know, men come out of jail and they try to get a better life and they can't get a job. It's sad. It's a very sad predicament. That is a very real thing. You know, it was very good for them to put that in there, show that dynamic. We also learned about Vanessa Williams' husband. He's also an attorney, but he also has a band that he's really into, which has Babyface in it. Like, how are they not famous already? But obviously this is acting. But you know, he's in a band and he's trying to get his band together, and she's not at all supportive. She's talking about, oh, you need to be a better attorney. If you were a better attorney, you would have more money, and yada yada. All this woman talks about is money, which is why I was like, this is not really me feeling attacked, because I don't talk about money that dang much. Like, she was doing the most. And then one thing we realized is that Cousin Faith ends up staying with Vanessa Williams and her husband, and just remember that part. So then we cut to Big Mama getting her leg cut off. When Big Mama gets her leg cut off, she has a stroke and goes into a coma, right? Which, ooh, devastating. Everybody's really scared. Everybody's very worried. Everyone's wondering, you know, what's going to happen. So, you know, their nerves are very high. And you know, Vivica Fox's character was like, look, maybe we should have Sunday dinner, you know, get everybody together. And Vanessa Williams is like, no, we don't need to have Sunday dinner. Why are you trying to do this? And they having a whole fight back and forth and yada, yada, yada. And so, you know, we see Bird, who is Nia's character, try to cook. She can't cook, apparently. Sis can't cook. So then we start seeing the development of the certain plot lines that are going to come up. You see, like I said, Vanessa Williams' husband is in the band. You see him at his gig, and Cousin Faith shows up to his gig, starts talking to him about, oh, you know, you should do this, you should really be doing this. And right before this happened, you see, like, he's talking to Vanessa Williams, like, come on, come out, like, we should go dancing, you know, we come out, we can hear the band, yada yada. And she's like, no, I gotta work, I gotta do all this stuff. And I'm like, again, we can kind of already see where this is going. Like, she's boring. All she does is talk about money, all she does is talk about work, and we're going to try to blame her for certain things that are going to happen in this movie. I already know that's what's about to happen, and I'm irritated because I hate when that happens. But I'm just like, okay. So Nia Long's character finds out that Mekhi Phifer's character does not have a job, right? She sees him in the house in the middle of the day and is like, why are you here? And he's like, I don't have a job. And she was like, why didn't you just tell me? And so she decides to talk to her ex-boyfriend to get him a job. And I was already like, this ain't gonna go well. I already know how this gonna go. And that's exactly where it went, because old boy is messy. Light-skinned boy, he's messy. And so he came through at the job while Mekhi Phifer was there and was like, yeah, you know, it's good to help a brother out. You know, I'm the reason why you got this job. You know, your girlfriend took me up. And he was like, how you know my girlfriend? She was like, yeah, you know my girl back in the day. And he was talking about how he was dating her. And I was just like, you gonna get your beat, sir. And he did. And I was happy about that because he needed it. He definitely deserved it. That was messy as hell. That was messy as hell. So then he gets mad. Mekhi Phifer gets mad when he finds out that Nia Long got him that job. He shows up at her hair shop and was like angry. Broke the window, broke everything, pushed her in the bathroom, and so she was very distraught, very upset. Called Vanessa Williams' character, and she got their cousin to beat him up. Which I get it, but like, this did not this was not the best answer because I probably would have did the same thing, but also now I know why it's a bad idea to do that. So her cousin came through where he was at the bar. They started fighting, and Mekhi Phifer pulled a gun on him. Now, mind you, my guy is a felon. And if you didn't know, having a gun as a felon is a big deal, okay? You can't do that. You're going to be in jail. Just so you know, if you're a felon, don't get a gun. Don't do it. So, of course, he ended up back in jail. Duh. Now, Vanessa Williams' husband decides to quit his job without telling his wife. Don't know why, but I guess that's what you want to do when you're kind of upset with your wife. And he starts talking with Cousin Faith, and they drinking, having a good time, and you know, they go to the studio together, and yeah, they end up having sex. We already saw this coming. And then Vanessa Williams catches him having sex, and she does not tell him that she catches him having sex. They all apparently drive over to Vivica Fox's house for her wedding anniversary, because I don't understand how the hell you sat in that car and didn't tell anybody or try to look. I'd have crashed that car, okay? I'm killing everybody. But that's just me. Now, the greatest, she had the little boy in the car with her, so I mean, just make sure he buckled up. But like, no, I'm just joking. But anyway, they get to Vivica Fox's house, and she sees her with her husband, and of course, you know, she's still jealous about it. You can tell she's still jealous about it. And so she's getting in her feelings because her husband cheats on her, and she lost her boyfriend to her. She's just going through it, feeling really emotional. And then, you know, it comes out that he cheated on her. She was real bold with it. She was like, yeah, you know, this family is getting torn apart because my husband is having sex with Faith. And it was like, oh, shit. Like, nobody knew. It was like, oh.
Family, I love the family in my house. You know what? The family. Yeah. My husband. Miles. And what are you going to say, huh?
Terry.
Terry, what?
Can we talk about this?
Can we talk about what?
Nobody knew. It was like, oh. What? And then she starts chasing Bull with a knife in the middle of the party, and I was like, yo, this is when I'm in it now. I'm in the movie now. I'm here. This is entertainment. And you know, apparently, you know, she doesn't stab him, thankfully, I guess. But then, you know, of course, everything starts melting down. Vanessa Williams is having her own breakdown from losing her husband, because, like, come on, that's a big deal. And so instead of, like, you know, going to her sisters for help and comfort, she starts lashing out at her sisters, right? Big Mama's still in the hospital. She's still in her coma. She's like, look, she can't afford her medical bills. We might as well just sell this house, because she can't afford it, and I'm sick of paying for everything. Because she apparently pays for their house. She gave Nia Long a loan to get her beauty shop. Like, she pays for everything, and she consistently talks about it, which is the annoying part. But like, I get, like, I wouldn't want to pay for everything either, but don't sell the house. Don't do that. And so we cut to the scene in the hospital with Big Mama, and she's with the little boy, because apparently he's there by himself. He gets a lot of places by himself. That was the one thing I didn't really, like, figure out. How the hell he be getting all these places by himself? He just be by himself all the time. He looked like he can't be more than 10, okay? But okay, yeah, he's with Big Mama by himself. He's sitting there in the hospital, and she wakes up, and she's like, my soul is tired. And, you know, she talking about how she wants him to do her a favor, and
my soul is tired. I need you to do something for me. Only you can do it. I need you to...
Big Mama, what's wrong?
You know, she keeps coughing, and then, of course, she passes away, as we all predicted in the beginning of this movie. Okay? And so, you know, she didn't get to tell him what she wanted, but he kind of figured what she wanted him to do, right? And so he devises this plan to get everybody together for Sunday dinner. So he, you know, they all had the funeral, of course, of Big Mama. And then after the funeral, he starts telling people that Big Mama left him a big lump sum of money. And, you know, if you help me do this, I'll give you part of the money. And he was telling everybody individually. That's why I said, how the hell he be in all these places by himself that they don't know that, how was he going to get there by himself if his mama ain't take him? He like 10 years old. But okay. And so, you know, and he apparently had his mom fixing him dinner because he won his basketball game or something. So that's how she was going to end up there. Everybody else was going to end up at Big Mama's house because they were going to try to find the money, right? And so everybody started showing up and everybody got together and, you know, they started realizing what Boy was doing. And so they all sat down. And so, you know, they all sat down. You know, Mekhi Phifer somehow shows up because Vanessa Williams gets him out of jail because she felt bad about being the reason why he's in jail in the first place, which was the one nice thing she did in this movie. And then she ends up being an a-hole after this. So I'm going to give her that point and then take it back in a second. So he shows up and then Cousin Faith shows up and she's like, boy, I ain't coming in here because I know everybody want to kill me. And this is when I realized this movie is obviously a movie because I love my family. I believe in family. I do. I try my best to squash my beefs with my family and have you know, have a good time with my family and not always think about the bad stuff and, you know, all that good stuff. But there's one thing that you're not finna do, and that is have sex with my husband in my house. Since she lucky she didn't catch these hands. Okay? I don't care if you my cousin or not. You finna catch these hands, sis. I don't care. So that's why I was like, this is too movie. Because how is she sitting there having a dinner with everybody like she ain't finna get beat up somebody. And not even just beat. My sister gonna beat you up too. Okay? If my other sister was here, she definitely would have beat you up. Okay? So you know, she'd have caught these hands easy. 3 times. Okay? So that's why I was like, this is a movie. This is obviously a movie. I can't believe this is real. This is about real life. But that's okay. Because it's supposed to be a movie. It's supposed to wrap up. We're supposed to have a good ending. Everybody's supposed to be happy. But I'm just saying that's not really accurate. It's not at all. But everybody's sitting down. You know, we find out that Mekhi Phifer got his job back because, you know, he was such a good worker. They decided to bring him back. I don't know how the heck that happened because he was in jail. But okay, you know, believable. And then Vanessa Williams had to say her 2 cents about the fact that she's the only reason why he's here. And I'm like, why did you have to mention that? But she bitter. Sis is bitter. And that's what happens when you don't get your anger out. You end up being bitter. And she being bitter to everybody. So she starts talking to her husband, talking about some, you know, you gave us away. And Bird gets mad at her because, spoiler, well, one thing I didn't mention, she's pregnant. Nia Long's character is apparently pregnant. So she tells Mekhi Phifer's character that she's pregnant, and you know, he's upset about that. She's upset that she revealed. Well, Vanessa Williams tells Mekhi Phifer's character that she's pregnant. She gets upset that she told him that. She said, well, you can't even keep your husband. Why you worried about my husband? And then I was like, I don't like the fact that they're blaming her for her husband cheating on her, because that's not her fault. Like, granted, she's boring, she's annoying, and she's kind of an a-hole, but that's not her fault. If you're mad at your wife and you don't want to be with your wife no more, just break up with your wife. Don't F her cousin. Because, see, you could have done it with anybody. See, I'm still mad. I'm still angry. I'm so sorry. I'm still angry. But I digress. They're having these conversations at the table, and then apparently the little boy was in the kitchen by himself, and he catches the kitchen on fire. And, you know, that's what kind of stopped the arguing. Everybody's like trying to put the fire out, yada, yada, yada. And they all kind of like, oh my God. And then Uncle Pete, who apparently was in his room this whole time, comes downstairs with a TV in his hand. And I'm like, why does he have a TV in his hand? He dropped the TV, and that's where the money was. So apparently there was money. Nobody knew there was money, but apparently there was money. And so that's where they found all the money, and everybody came together. And then the ending comes, and we hear about how everybody got back together again. Everybody's cool again. Cousin Faith is a part of the family, and I still am like, why? Miles, his name is Miles. Vanessa Williams' husband's name is Miles, by the way. I totally have not said anybody's actual character names. I'm bad at doing that. But he still comes around even though they're not together. And I'm like, why? Again, different kind of family dynamics than me, because we would never see or hear from him again. Period. He is dead to everyone. Don't talk to him. Okay? If that was my husband. But then again, that's just me. But that is soul food. That is that is my reaction to Soul Food. Of course, at the end of the movie, we realize that, of course, Vanessa Williams is not going to sell Big Mama's house anymore. They end up keeping the house. Everybody still comes over for dinner. So that's my reaction to Soul Food. You know, it was a pretty good movie. I was entertained, even though it was kind of predictable, but I was definitely still entertained because it was still a good plot. It was kind of unbelievable at the end, but that's just because how I was raised in my family, because we would have definitely throw some hands at one point. But that's just because my family's dysfunctional, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, if I had to give this a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, as I do all of the movies that I do for this segment, I would give this 7.5. 7.5. It was pretty good. The storyline was pretty good. The characters were all, you know, well, they could all act, okay? Nobody was phoning it in. Not even a little boy. He seemed like a believable acting character. You know, it was a very good storyline. I just kind of feel like, you know, it was a very interesting ending. But that is what it is. If you know, want to give your comments about how you feel about this movie, if you know, don't agree with my my reaction, as a lot of people don't sometimes, you can put your comments in the comment section. If you like this video, hit that like button. I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. I'm trudging along trying to get to my goal of 1,000 subscribers. We going there slow, but we going there. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be there. And if you have any other suggestions for me to do for this channel, the next 2 videos are going to be Halloween related. Ooh. So they're gonna be black movies about that are horror movies. So one that I have never seen and one that I have seen, but I haven't seen it in so long that I don't really remember all the movie, and it's a good thing because it scared me to death. Guess what movie that is? But that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow for Say That Saturday. If you want to come back, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, so you know when I'm putting up videos. I might put up a surprise video. You don't know. You don't know. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.